The distress beacon from New Haven died exactly 47 minutes after the Krellex warships entered the system. Anna Chen watched the signal flatline on her tactical display aboard the Retribution, her jaw tight enough to crack teeth. New Haven wasn't just humanity's weakest colony. It was a scientific outpost, home to 12,000 researchers, engineers, and their families. No military presence, no defensive grid, nothing but greenhouses, laboratories, and hope. "Captain, we're receiving telemetry from the automated monitoring stations," Lieutenant Jenny Rodriguez reported from the communications console, his dark eyes reflecting the harsh blue light of the holographic displays. At 19, Jenny was the youngest officer on the bridge, but his hands moved across the controls with practiced precision. "The Krellex deployed orbital bombardment platforms. There. They're not destroying the colony, ma'am. They're landing troops." Anna's fingers drummed once against her command chair's armrest, the only outward sign of the rage building in her chest like a fusion reactor approaching critical mass. "Occupation, then. They want the research." "New Haven's quantum computing labs," her XO, Commander Parks, said quietly. "The Krellex have been trying to crack quantum entanglement communications for decades. If they get their claws on our research—" "They won't." Anna's voice cut through the bridge like a laser through hull plating. She leaned forward, her reflection ghosting across the tactical display. A woman of 38 with iron-gray streaks already threading through her black hair, earned from 6 years of defending humanity's outer territories. "Jenny, get me fleet dispersal patterns. Every ship within 3 days FTL range. I want a battle group assembled at Rally Point Theta within 18 hours. Jenny's fingers flew across his console, but his voice carried a note of concern. "Captain, New Haven is 4 days out at maximum burn. By the time we arrive, those Krellex bastards will have settled in nicely. They'll think they've won." Anna stood, moving to the tactical hologram that dominated the bridge's center. The three-dimensional star map showed the Krellex fleet, 8 warships, dozens of support vessels, all clustered around New Haven like parasites on a host. "They captured Earth's weakest colony because they thought we'd write it off. A science station, barely defended, far from the core systems. Acceptable losses in the grand calculus of war." She touched the hologram, zooming in on New Haven's pale blue marble. Somewhere down there, 12,000 humans were being herded into detention facilities or worse. Scientists who'd left Earth to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Families who'd believed the galaxy could be a place of discovery rather than endless conflict. "They thought wrong," Anna continued, her voice dropping to something cold and precise. "Jenny, draft a message to Admiral Okonkwo. Tell her New Haven has fallen and I'm invoking the reprisal protocol." The bridge fell silent. Parks looked up sharply. "Captain, the reprisal protocol hasn't been used since Tau Ceti. The political fallout was worth it then. It's worth it now." Anna turned to face her crew, 23 men and women who'd followed her through 4 major engagements and countless skirmishes, who'd seen what the Krellex did to colonies they occupied. The reprisal protocol exists for exactly this scenario. When an enemy force occupies human territory and holds our civilians, we respond with overwhelming, immediate, and absolute force. No negotiations, no prisoner exchanges, no measured responses. "The Krellex won't expect it," Jenny said, understanding dawning in his eyes. "They'll think we'll follow standard engagement protocols, request a negotiation period, bring in diplomats." "Exactly." Anna pulled up the fleet roster, her mind already calculating vectors, timing, and tactics. "They've studied our wars with the Tigeran Collective, the border disputes with the Zinter Harmony, conflicts where we played by the rules. But the Krellex have never faced what happens when you threaten human civilians on our own territory. They're about to learn why Earth's colonies survive." Over the next 16 hours, the Retribution became the nexus of a gathering storm. Ships emerged from FTL across 3 sectors, their drives leaving brilliant scars in spacetime. The carrier Indomitable arrived with her full complement of strike fighters. The railgun destroyers Hammer and Anvil took up flanking positions. 12 frigates, 8 corvettes, and a mobile repair station all converged on Rally Point Theta. Jenny barely left his post, coordinating the logistics of the largest rapid response battle group assembled since the war's beginning. His voice grew hoarse from constant communication checks, but his hands never trembled. Anna watched him work with approval. The boy had potential if he survived long enough to realize it. "Final count, Captain," Jenny reported as the last ship, the missile cruiser Vengeance, dropped out of FTL. 37 combat vessels, full magazines, and every captain asking the same question: what's the plan? Anna activated the fleet-wide channel, her image appearing on 37 bridges simultaneously. "Captains, I'll make this brief. The Krelliks have occupied New Haven. They believe they've captured a soft target, a colony too weak and too remote for us to defend effectively. They're about to discover their mistake." She brought up the tactical plan she'd spent 12 hours refining. "We're not going to negotiate. We're not going to demand their surrender. We're going to jump into the system in 3 battle groups, each targeting a specific sector of their fleet. Group Alpha, the Retribution and the Strike Carriers, will hit their command vessels. Group Bravo targets their orbital platforms. Group Charlie secures the approach vectors to prevent escape." "Rules of engagement?" someone asked. "Simple," Anna replied. "Any Krelliks vessel that remains in the system 60 seconds after we arrive will be destroyed. Any that attempt to flee toward the colony will be priority targets. We hit them hard, we hit them fast, and we don't stop until every enemy ship is debris or jumping to FTL with their tails between their legs." "What about the colony, ma'am?" another captain asked. "Hostages?" Anna's expression hardened. "The Krelliks need living hostages to have leverage. They won't kill them if they think they might need them as shields. But once they realize we're not negotiating, they'll have seconds to decide: flee or die. Based on every tactical assessment we have, the Krelliks value their ships more than captured territory. They'll run." "And if they don't?" Parks asked quietly on a private channel. "Then we bury them," Anna said simply. The fleet jumped to FTL in 3 waves, spaced 30 seconds apart. Inside the quantum foam of faster-than-light travel, time became meaningless. Jenny ran final weapons checks, his face pale but determined. Anna sat in her command chair, reviewing the tactical scenario for the 100th time, looking for flaws, for weaknesses in her plan that could cost lives. They emerged into normal space 4 light minutes from New Haven in a carefully orchestrated dance of destruction. 37 ships materialized simultaneously, their targeting systems already locked on the Krelliks fleet. The enemy had scattered across the system, confident in their occupation, their ships spread thin around the colony and its moons. "All vessels weapons-free," Anna commanded. "Execute." The Retribution spat a spread of antimatter torpedoes toward the Krelliks flagship, each one a miniature star compressed to the size of a basketball. Railgun rounds followed, accelerated to 0.3 C, too fast for point defense to intercept. The strike fighters launched in swarms, their pilots unleashing months of pent-up rage on an enemy that had finally given them a clear target. The Krelliks' response was confused, panicked. Their ships had been in passive mode, conserving energy during the occupation. Alarms shrieked across their fleet as human weapons began finding targets. The first Krelliks cruiser died in a flash of nuclear fire, its reactor breached by a railgun round. 2 more followed within seconds. "Enemy flagship is maneuvering," Jenny reported, his voice tight with tension. "They're trying to position themselves between us and the colony." "Predictable," Anna said. "Target their engine section. I want them disabled, not destroyed. Let's give their commander time to think about his options." The Retribution's heavy particle beams lanced out, purple-white columns of coherent energy that burned through the Krelliks flagship's shielding like paper. Secondary explosions rippled along its stern as the main drive went offline. Dead in space, The alien warship could only watch as the human fleet systematically dismantled their formation. "We're receiving a transmission from the Krellex flagship," Jenny said. They're demanding negotiations. "Tell them they have 40 seconds to begin evacuating the colony and 30 more to jump out of the system," Anna replied. "Any vessel still here after that becomes target practice." She watched the tactical display as the Krellex fleet, or what remained of it, suddenly broke into frantic activity. Troop transports began launching from the surface. Orbital platforms deactivated and detached from their moorings. The enemy had learned the lesson. Earth's colonies might be far from home, might seem weak and vulnerable, but they had something the Krellex hadn't accounted for. They had an angry big sister with a fleet, and no patience for bullies. 60 seconds, Captain, Jenny counted down. 45, 30. Krellex ships began jumping to FTL, flashes of twisted spacetime marking their retreat. The flagship went last, limping away on auxiliary power, leaving behind their orbital platforms and any dreams of an easy conquest. "All enemy vessels have left the system," Jenny reported, something like wonder in his voice. "Total engagement time, 8 minutes 32 seconds. Anna allowed herself a small smile. "New Haven Station, this is Captain Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You're clear. We're sending down medical teams and relief supplies. Welcome back to the family." The response came quickly, voices overlapping with relief, gratitude, and disbelief. But Anna was already turning to her next task, pulling up patrol schedules and defense grid specifications. New Haven would never be vulnerable again, and the Krellex would carry the memory of this day, the day they learned that Earth's weakest colony was still a colony worth defending. Because humanity didn't abandon its own. Not today, not ever.